like, you know, they're...
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to IGN's E3 2014 live show. The conferences are done, the games are rolling out, and now we're talking about Project Spark 6. Thank you so much for coming.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, fantastic.
Are you surviving E3? It's day 2.
Well, I'm alive, technically. I have.
Technically, yeah, okay.
Yes.
What, are you tired? You worn out?
No.
All right, great.
I'm
Tell me all
psyched
about...
for you.
You're excited for me?
Just for you, yeah.
Oh, wow. Charmer, this one. Tell me all about Project Spark.
So Project Spark is slightly different. It's a game about making games.
Yes.
So it's a place where you go when you have a dream and you want to go realize it, right? We're in beta right now. We're beta on Windows 8.1 and on Xbox One.
Okay.
We have over 1 million people in the beta.
That's
way
a lot
more
of people
than
in the beta.
We had not expected that. Like, we're not listed anywhere. We're not in the dash. You have to go search for us to find us. But we're open beta, so
Oh,
we
wow.
encourage
Anybody can
anybody
go
to
to...
come there.
Right now, people
Yeah.
can go play.
Yeah,
Project
go to Xbox One, search for Project Spark, log in, you're there, right?
Before we went, we were talking a little bit of, amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
You can look over there. About Project Spark, and I told you that, since I heard about Project Spark, I've been excited because I was a big Little Big Planet guy.
Yeah.
You were giving me some interesting statistics about what your audience is like versus that.
Yeah, so like the 1 million people we have, they share about 700 new games every day,
Yeah.
on average, and they spend over 75% of the time making stuff.
Dang.
75%. 25% is including testing their own stuff. So, like, that is just amazing. But even then, they find time to go and test everybody else's games. Like, we have games over 100,000 unique users have played them.
Wow.
And when you give somebody a tool like that and a platform like that, when like the gratification we get when we hear, like, my game got 10,000 people playing it, I was happy with 10, not 10,000. Right? And as you can see, like on the monitors there, like you can create a sort of strike your fancy. You can just paint in trees, you can paint in terrain, paint in like desert, paint in Arctic, whatever it is. Like, we try to make it as simple as possible for you to make like your creation come alive.
You make it as simple as possible sounds great, but it's hard to create a game. How do you simplify those processes? Even stepping on a pad to activate a door, that's hard.
Yeah, we've been trying to cook it down to essentials, like how do you get people over the hump for creating? Like, what shortcuts can we give to people?
Yeah.
And a lot of it, like on screen right now, we are painting away here. You can see we're painting in not just paint, we're also painting in props. We're painting in stocks, like rocks, like different interesting formations. Here, he's just populating in, putting like a bit of light bulbs. All the modules you see are pre-built for you. You can blow them apart, or you can just put them in as modules.
Okay.
And make your space station come alive. This is one of the new experiences that we are coming out with this fall. This is a sci-fi theme. We've seen very like sort of rustic storybook fantasy is what we've shown before.
Right.
But we're expanding that now into sci-fi, and that's just the first to come. We hinted at Conquer coming in the future.
Yeah. You made a big deal about galaxies being a thing, and then Conquer walked out at the very end.
Well, Conquer was just a little like hint at what's to come.
Yeah.
It so figures that people love Conquer, and we knew that it was going to be a big deal to show Conquer.
Yeah.
We were just so excited that people are going to be able to make their own Conquer games. Like,
right.
What is going to be more fun than that? Like, Conquer is like a pretty free-spirited
He can do whatever he wants. Oh, your mic fell off.
Oh,
just fix it.
I don't think that's good.
No, it's here. Come on, this is how I take care of developers at IGN. Shh, Sex. It's okay.
I like it.
This is a fun show. Now you see, Project Spark. You make games and you make environments. We just made magic for you. I am a creator. So that's the thing. I'm stupid. I'm not smart. I could get in there and make.
Here's what I can do for you.
Okay.
We have a bucket of brains, right? Any brain goes on anything. So if you go in and go, I want the follower brain, you just put it on a guy, or you put it on a rock, or you put it on a tree. It doesn't matter. Whenever you walk up to that guy, that thing will ask, can I follow you? Press B. You press B, he starts following you. Like, that's like a classic AI you see in games. What if you want a first-person shooter? You go into the bucket of brains, you take the first-person brain, boop, pop it in, you're in first person. So your character that used to play in third person now takes on a new behavior. Well, you can do that to anything. So there's a
that
bird.
sounds pretty cool.
There's a bird brain, right? You look pretty good as a bird, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I look great as anything. I'm Greg.
Flop around,
to
wherever, right?
Yeah.
So, the other thing is, like, let's say you're just, you really just want to play. We have what we call Champion's Quest. This is the first time we're showing that. That's
right here, this is Champion's Quest?
So that's the official sort of Project Spark story also. But it's also episodes of co-op gameplay. Just go in, pick up and play. you get to pick between champions. The champions are like levelable, like in any other RPG, where you get them at level 1 and you can play them, and you can play them here in our crossroads in UGC, in the level wherever you go. They're the stars of this adventure, and you take them in and you fight through, and it tells you the story of Project Spark, and sort of like, how could you have this storybook fantasy together with sci-fi, together with Conquer? How does it all make sense? What is this universe?
So Project Spark, which allows you to make video games, also has a story in it to get you to play the video game.
There's something that holds it all together. Yeah. And that's the first hint of that story that we're showing in Champion's Quest. It's also sort of a hidden thing to show you how you make games.
Right.
Like in this, you're still putting things in other characters. Like you're still fixing lifts by putting in code into them. You're still doing terraforming with Spark. Like you're still doing a lot of the things you can do in the tool.
Yeah.
But you're doing it in a pure game context where you just pick up and play. But I challenge you to get lost in that one.
I assure you I will get lost
step.
in it, I'm positive. But that's the exciting thing about it. Even, I was telling you beforehand, right, at the Xbox One launch event in San Francisco, I got to go and get a demo, and like to see the scope of the environments, the different characters. Now to have you talk a little bit more about the brains and stuff, you can only imagine that once this gets out into a wide audience, right, of anybody who wants to play it, how crazy it's going to get. I mean,
I just saw
it boggles the mind.
Yeah, when we look at like what people have made, like 700 games a day is tough to follow along with, right? So luckily we have a new and trending feed that we use, right, where we sort of programmatically pull in things that are getting rated high, getting a lot of downloads that get pulled in a special feed. There's a great place to see what's happening in the community.
I'm assuming there's keywords and stuff too, right?
Sure.
If I want to search and find.
tags, so you can go, if you want everything with sci-fi, you just search sci-fi, all that comes out. But somebody's just came out with like the beta or alpha, I think it's officially an alpha version of like a turn-based strategy game.
So in your beta, there's an alpha version of another game.
We see a lot of that, like a lot of alpha, beta versions, final versions, chapter ones. Because like, think of it this way, people have had it for 3 months. Like we've taken 3 years to make what we had. So it's a little like, how are you going to judge what people make in 3 months?
Right.
We are stunned what people come out with. I don't think there's a genre that hasn't been covered. There's not an element that hasn't been explored.
See, that's the crazy thing to think about.
Deeper now.
You're talking about the genres, right? That you can go from a first-person shooter to a platformer to all these. Are there racers in there? I mean, are people just doing everything possible?
We've seen like tunnel shooters, 2D platformers, like Micro Machine style racing games. Like I can't remember a genre I haven't seen.
Wow.
Like you can take assets, you can tint them, glue them, put the behaviors into all of them. You can do that to all the effects also. So you can make things that look completely different. I saw something the other day that I loved. A dad made all the Disney princesses lined up for her to play with.
Wow.
Like almost like a dollhouse. But
That's
every
awesome.
major princess in every major Disney movie sort of lined up.
So then, for you right now, how tough is it, like the anticipation of getting this out to everybody, right? Because that's going to be the best part for you. You figure if you're getting, all of these levels made, all these games made right now while you're in open beta, once it's available to everyone, right, like people are going to go nuts.
It showed us that our recommendation system better be really good. So we're working on that. And our ability to sort of serve people what they would expect. The second thing is we're showing multiplayer for the first time, and we're super excited about that. In the office, it's totally changing how people think about it. And this, like, if you can't get over making brains and you go, look, I just don't want to make my behaviors, but I really like designing characters, I really like making worlds, and I want to make this story, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
For you to get together with somebody that goes, well, what I like is engineering. I like putting stuff together and thinking through all the problems with that. Then go together and make a multiplayer session like that. It's just too much fun.
So you can create together. You can be two players playing.
Yeah, think of it like Photoshop Maya and your favorite game together. You can be in and trolling each other. You can help each other.
No, don't troll each other. That's the worst thing you could do if you're trying to make a game together.
As you're sculpting, I can be painting what you're sculpting while the third guy can be putting down props and the fourth guy's erasing the whole thing.
Are you all playing locally? Is it all creating locally?
No, it's over live.
Jeez Louise.
Xbox Live.
How are you doing all this?
Well,
it seems way too complicated for a video game.
So I'm going to flatter my team. We have a very good team.
Okay, good.
We have engineers that's been us from the beginning that just love this space, right? And we've been trying to engineer carefully so this is possible, right?
Yeah.
So you can go in and you can make like a full multiplayer creation experience, but it's hairy. We're showing it on the show floor, and that's connecting to Azure. Like there's no cheating about it. We go like we are going to go when we go live. This is a very good test for us, by the way, to be in the E3 environment and do multiplayer.
Well, the E3 internet's so great and
I
so
know.
reliable.
And it's working out. I don't know how that's possible.
Well, knock on something. Knock on metal. That's going to continue to work for
Yes.
you. You can't come around at E3 and say nothing's gone wrong.
No, I don't know. So,
Cool.
what else do you want to know?
Everything. I mean, that's the problem. I mean, so you said that, you know, like Conker's a tease of what's
Yeah.
to come.
Yeah.
Is that also a tease of like what you guys could do? Like you could like license other things
Yeah,
and
it's very so Conker came about because it is the most requested thing in Project Spark by far.
Really?
Like, people tweet, like Phil Spencer all the time about it, tweet me about it, like everybody on the team about, like email us, Facebook, like about like what characters they would love to see. And Conker was by and large like the favorite. Like we really, really want to see Conker. There's a couple of
Wow.
reasons. There hasn't been a Conker game in a long time.
Yeah.
But also, Conker is all about imagination. It's all about, like, sort of, to hell with it, anything goes. Like, what better thing to give people to play with and come up with sort of the next chapter of what Conker could be, right?
It's a good call, yeah.
So-
if they're not going to make a Conker game, we will.
Yeah. No, and I think some people were upset that it wasn't a full Conker game.
Sure.
Like, why are you not just giving... But look at Champions Quest and look at, like, we have the capability to go any way. Our job is to inspire people, and then we sort of listen to what people really want, and we go in that direction. Right?
Awesome.
We have a team of extremely agile guys just waiting for feedback.
Right. Well, Sax, the game looks awesome. They're waiting for your feedback. If you have an Xbox One or Windows, like you said, you can just
Yeah.
search for it.
Yeah.
Project Spark, you get in the open beta. When's it out, though? When's the final version out?
So this fall,
Okay.
it's coming out, and then like what we're waiting for, multiplayer needs to get stable, and sci-fi needs to be finished.
Yeah.
And that's basically when we're ready, and we
Just
need to fix
small
bugs.
things.
Lots of bugs.
Yeah, little things,
About
yeah.
3,500 bugs.
Nothing. You can knock those out in a weekend.
Yes,
Sax, thank you so much for
Right.
coming by. It looks awesome.
Well, thanks for inviting.
No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, go get in the open beta. What do you have to lose? It's free. But then make sure, before you do that, you stay here with the IGN E3 2014 live show. Up next, it's Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. I'm pretty excited about it.